அண்ணாமலையாய் அடியேனை ஆண்ட அன்றே ஆவியுடல் கொண்டாய் எனக்கோ குறையுண்டோ குறையும் குணமும் நீ அல்லாய் என்னேன் இவற்றை என் உயிரே எண்ணம் எதுவோ அது செய்வாய் கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையில் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ஓம் அதிமதுர சாபஹஸ்தாம் अपरिमितां मोदभान सौभाग्यां अरुणां अतिशयकरुणां अभिनवकुलसुन्दरीं वन्दे. ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्री अरुणाचल कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते पदं कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडं कृतिमहोददौ पतनकारणं परमशाश्वतं गतिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं प्रेक्षया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मनः कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जप चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगदीशधी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिमृग देवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तवात् उच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् आज्यधारया श्रोतसासमं सरलचिन्तनं विरलतः परम्. So yesterday we have seen, to start with, puja is beautiful, wonderful. Doing puja to the Ishtadevata. But that puja should not stop there. We have to see the same Ishtadevata in the eightfold forms. That is Panchabhuta, Surya, Chandra or Jiva. And we try to serve. So, Jagata Sevan, Isha Pujan, Deva Pujan. So when you serve the world, the beings around you, that is the real worship. How beautiful it is. And not only that, it is not just seeing the Lord in one Murtam, it is seeing the Lord everywhere. This is the expansion of the vision that we have seen. And then Stavanam. Stavanam means with the speech what you do, you praise the Lord. That is wonderful. But more than that, japa is very effective and powerful. Because mind becomes one-pointed, single-pointed. When you chant a mantra, the mind doesn't go here, there. It becomes very single. There also you should start chanting loudly. Ucha. And then mandata. Then soft. And then chittajam. You have to chant within yourself, within the mind. So that leads to the dhyanam, to the meditation. This is what we have seen yesterday. But dhyanam also, when we sit quiet and we try to focus our mind on the object of meditation, whatever may be the object of meditation, it can be a mantra, the sound of the mantra, or it can be the form of the Lord, or it is just a jyoti within your heart. Whatever may be your object of meditation, the mind should continuously flow in that direction to that object of meditation. That is desirable. But what happens generally? Because of our old habits, when we sit and try to think or concentrate or meditate, but the mind goes off. It wanders. Then Krishna says to Arjuna, bring the mind back again and again. Whenever you find the mind going away, astray, bring the mind back again and again and try to keep the mind in the altar of meditation. There is no other go. You have to practice with patience. Why patience? Because mind will not yield. It's very stubborn and unyielding. Arjuna says, we can even stop the wind, it seems. The wind you can stop, but not the mind. Such terrible the mind is. So therefore, abhyasa, the practice is essential, and vairagya is also essential. Krishna says, abhyasena cha kaunteya vairagyena cha gryhyate. More you develop dispassion, detachment to the world, the more mind gets settled in the heart. More you have lot of desires and attachment to the world, mind will never settle down. See, it's a logic, simple logic, and simple and common sense and understanding. If you want the mind to settle down in the heart and keep quiet, then it should not have so much of attachment, desires in the world also. No, Swami, we want to have all our desires and attachment, still we want to be very quiet and meditate. This is like telling, I want to touch the fire but it should not burn me. Is it possible? To touch the fire, it will burn. Don't touch. So if you get attached to the world, you get sorrows. You become miserable. No, I want to be attached only, and then I want to be happy also. And I want to be a great jnani who is abiding in the heart. It's not possible. As simple as that. So here, Bhagavan says, Ajyadharaya Shrotasa Samam Sarala Chintanam Viralatat Param. So the mind should continuously flow to the object of meditation, like the water flowing in the river in one direction. Shrotasa Samam means what? Like the water flowing in the river. Ajyadharaya means that flow of the ghee or the clarified butter, they say, na? When it's poured from one container to another container, it flows seamlessly. Like that, mind should flow continuously in one direction. That is, he says, param, supreme. See, now you try to understand. In Bhakti Yogam, Bhagavan is talking about dhyana only. See? Actually, dhyana is considered to be upasana only. Upasana means it is a way of remembering the Lord and becoming sort of in tune with the higher power. Actually, for jnanis, swaswarupa anusandhanam bhakti. When you continuously focus attention on the Paramatma who is seated in the heart, that is bhakti for them. See, for the bhaktas, bhakti is little different. Those who are following the bhakti yoga or the path of devotion, bhakti is different. But for jnanis, bhakti means continuous attention to the self. See, so ajyadharaya shrotasa samam, like the water flowing in the river. Continuous attention towards the Ishta Devata or the Lord or the self, whatever you may call. That is devotion. If you don't have love towards an object, you cannot give attention, you cannot continuously think or give attention to that object. On the other hand, what is love? Giving attention is love. Giving money is not love. Giving gifts is not love. Okay, that is an expression of love. But what is love? Giving attention is love. See, suppose you are a big businessman, earning a lot of wealth. You are very busy always. But your wife, Pavam, and children, they are there at your home, wanting some time from you, but you have no time. And you are very proud of that. Oh, I don't have time. I am a very busy person. And you don't give attention properly. Then people feel cheated, That is not love at all. Giving time and attention is love actually. See, in a very, very poor man's house, he may not have much, but he gives quality time to his people. They sit together and eat together. They pray together. They chat. They laugh. That is love. And then you complain, I don't know, the children are very indifferent to me. They don't even talk to me. How they will talk to you? When you are not given sufficient attention to the children, how they will respond? You understand? So if you really love your grandparents, what you should do? You should go and sit with them and talk. They will be very pleased, very happy, isn't it? What they want from you, they don't want anything else. Just to go and talk to them nicely. That's it. Spend some time, eat with them. They will be very happy. Take them out to a park, to a lake. They will be very happy. Is it not so? So therefore, continuous attention to the self is a devotion to the self. Continuous attention to the Ishta Devata is real devotion. You understand? So therefore, Sarala Chintanam Viralata Param. Instead of broken attention, unbroken attention is Uttama Bhakti. That will not happen just like that. So you have to practice. As I told you yesterday, how many years, Swamiji? Nobody knows. Maybe few hundred years. Huh? Maybe few hundred minutes also. Nobody knows. Yes.
I mean, the last statement that we made me think this. In English, we normally say somebody caring about themselves. I mean, not materialistically, inward. We say he is a self-centered person.
Self-centered person, correct.
It's used in a little bit
negative
way. So,
see, it is not negative actually. See, if you understand the self to be only this body-mind, only this body is you, the self. If you understand your self to be only this body and the mind, then you become very selfish.
I think that's what the English expression says, I guess.
But if you understand the self, not only this body-mind, the whole universe, that is understanding of the true self, then you include everything. Then how can you become selfish? But to understand that, you have to give attention. So you have to a great extent become self-centered. In the sense, self-attention. See, the word called self-centered has got a little negative connotation. Let us say self-attention. Then it becomes very sophisticated. Very nice. So attentive to the self. And then you understand what is the real self. It is not this body-mind. Everything is included in the self. Everything is included in the self. That is the real understanding. We will come to that. See, when it comes to Vicharam and other Jnana Yoga, that is explained in a very detailed fashion. We will come to that later. And one more thing, if you have doubts, please note it down and keep it. So after the session, we will have some 10-15 minutes now. Then you can ask. Okay. So this till here, this point of time, this point of the portion we have seen. So now we will move on to the next one. Bheda Bhavanat Sohamityasau.
Bheda Bhavanat Sohamityasau.
Bhavana Bhida Pavani Mata.
Bhavana Bhida Pavani Mata.
Bheda Bhavanat Sohamityasau.
Bheda Bhavanat Sohamityasau.
Bhavana Bhida Pavani Mata.
Bhavana Bhida Pavani Mata.
This idea is not explained in very many texts, or not even our parents, and not even sometimes our teachers explain this to us. But here Bhagavan says, this very important lesson. In bhakti, in devotion, Bheda Bhavanat Saha Aham Iti Asau. This is how we have to split. Soham Ityasau, we have to split it as Saha Aham. Iti Asau Abhidha Bhavana Bhavani Matha. So what sort of attitude you should have towards your Ishta Devata, to the Lord, Suppose, let us say, you are a devotee of Krishna. You can take any lord to be your Ishta Devata. Shiva, anybody. Or Ambad. Like that. Anybody you can take. Jesus Christ. Why not? You can take anybody as your Ishta Devata. But the thing is what? Bheda Bhavana. If you have the idea that he is somebody else, somewhere sitting, and he is there watching you. If you do something wrong, he will punish you. If you do something good, he will reward you. He will bless you. Instead of this bhavana, see, in the beginning this bhavana helps. Bhaya bhakti they say, that helps actually. But instead of this bhavana, what bhavana you should have? That's what Bhagavan says. This is a very, very important thing. We all should remember. He says we should have abhida bhavana. The second line, see, bhavana abhida. This has to be split as bhavana abhida. Abhida means what? Ananya bhakti. Ananya means what? You should not think the Lord to be somebody else, a stranger, a third person. You should always think he is seated in your own heart, and in fact he is your own true self, the higher self or true self. This change in attitude is very important, Bhagavan says. How? Saha aham iti asau bhavana. Saha means he, whoever we think as the Lord. Aham iti. Aham means he is my own true self. In fact, he is seated in my own heart as my own true self. Now we do not know about our true self. We know about only this personality, this body, mind, this ego self we know. But what is God? He is our true self. Satchidananda Swarupa. No? So this bhavana is called as Ananya Bhava. In Tamil, Bhagavan brings out very beautifully. Aniya Bhavatin Avan Ahamahum Ananiya Bhava Me Undipara Anaithilum Uttamam Undipara. So Abhidha Bhavana means Ananya Bhava. Anya means you think he is somewhere else, something else. But never ever you should think he is somebody else. More you identify with the beloved, more you think you and your beloved are not two. One and the same. This is the height of devotion, love. So you think the Lord to be aham, saha aham iti asau. So he is my own true self. Like that, you develop devotion to the Lord. So some people say, Lord Krishna is my friend. Beautiful. Lord Krishna is my Sadguru. Or he is my father, my mother. Even he is my lover. It's all allowed in our Sanatana Dharma. Okay, have that bhavana, but still you feel he is your own. Your own means what? He is within me, in my own heart, as my own self. Don't ever alienate the God. This is a very important instruction. Pavani mata. Pavani means that purifies really. Mata means this is the opinion of all the scriptures. Matam means opinion. Mata. This is Bhagavan. We can interpret as Bhagavan says, this is my mata. Or Shiva is giving this Upadesha to the Tarugavana Trishis. So we can consider it as the Shiva's words. As if Shiva is saying it is my opinion. Or here Guruji interprets, Swami Tejamani interprets as it is opinion of all the great scriptures, great masters. So that is Pavani. Pavani means what? That purifies. So initially you should start with, you can have this idea that he is somebody else, or means what? Whatever relationship you have with your God. So you should have some sort of relationship with God actually. Otherwise it becomes very dry. You should see, so there are some devotees who consider Krishna to be their own little child. And they give bhog every day, morning and evening. And they put him to sleep. And then they wake him up like the mother doing to the child. That is a wonderful bhavana, you know. And Guruji Swami Tejamaji says in Bhakti Sudha, even the jnanis won't get that kind of a joy. That joy is called as bhavana ananda. Bhavana ananda. So that kind of bhavana, if you develop towards it. See, paityakarthana kadayadu. It's not foolishness. People cannot understand. The ordinary intellectuals cannot understand such things. The stupid people, foolish people suffer foolishly. Intelligent people, you know, suffer intelligently. So we should not give weightage to their thoughts. Let them suffer intelligently. But what our masters have said, you have to develop that kind of a devotion, bhavana towards your Lord. Whatever bhavana you have is wonderful. See, this freedom is not given in other religion. You cannot consider Jesus Christ as your lover. Ray, blasphemy, how can you consider? No. You cannot consider Allah to be anything else because He has no form. You cannot consider Him as anything else. He is God. He is there, far away. You can only respect Him, revere Him. You cannot go closer to Him. But we can play with Him, hug Him. We can really celebrate Him in any way you want. But the best bhavana is what? Whatever bhavana you may have, but still you think He is my own, not even my own. He is my own self. True self. This is Abhidha bhavana, Ananya bhavana. See, even the lovers in the world, how they think? They think they are one. You know? They identify so much with the beloved that they feel as if they are one. They don't feel they are different. See, that is why our elders, I don't know about your household, our forefathers, like our grandparents, the tata, the grandfather eats in the same leaf, grandmother also just takes it out and she eats. And we say, what is this nonsense? But for them, you know what? Abhidha bhavana. They don't think they are different. See, suppose if you eat in your plate, and next round, how can I eat in this plate? Oh, echapaich, some other plate. Will you eat like that? You say, oh, it is my own. You eat. So that lady, she has developed such kind of a devotion. She doesn't see the husband, somebody else or something else. She sees him as his own self. See, this is something else we can't understand as intelligent people, modern people. We cannot understand these nuances. We cannot understand. We cannot appreciate. We say, hey, it's unhygienic. But other things are hygienic. But this is unhygienic or what? See, this is Abhidha Bhava. Alka, I am not saying you all should go and eat like that. No. Please, spare the plate. But what I mean to say, we should understand. These gopis, they were loving Krishna so much. But one day what Krishna did, when they were taking bath, he took all their clothes and he went above the tree. And they were naked totally. When they came out, they found no clothes. And they were screaming, shouting. Then Krishna said from the top, hey, I am here. And he was showing the clothes. You know, if you don't understand it properly, you will really misunderstand. But Krishna was at the time 7, 8 years old boy. Please understand. Don't think he's a youth. He was a youth. He was a boy. And not only that, the Kathakars, they explain, the gopis, even though they were loving Krishna so much, but still they had the sense of shame. Where from the sense of shame comes? When you think somebody, that person to be someone else, like somebody else. You go in front of your mirror and see yourself, you feel ashamed. How can I see myself? No. This oneness means what? You don't feel ashamed of yourself. Sometimes, you know, the ladies in front of their husband, they don't feel ashamed to change clothes or whatever. See, modern trends are different. I don't know about that. I am a sannyasi. Sorry, I am not here to comment on all those things. But the thing is what? When you feel one, you don't feel ashamed. That oneness, the Gopikas were having still the sense of otherness. Krishna is somebody. So they felt ashamed and they said, hey, drop the dress please, clothes please drop. He said, no, raise your hands and then appeal to me, then I will drop. இதெல்லாம் பார்த்தா ரொம்ப கேவலமா இருக்குன்னு கேட்கறதுக்கு. very horrible. But the idea is, what? When you are in love towards the Supreme, you should not treat him as someone else. You should treat him as your own, the one, the idea of oneness. The total identification with the Lord, the Beloved, is true love. The total identification with the Beloved is the true love. So what is total identification? My Beloved is not somebody else or something other than me. See, this you must have seen everywhere. The mothers, for the small little children, they give food. And sometimes the child also, everything happens. But when the child is not eating, the mother comfortably eats. We cannot stand it. How can the mother eat that? But the mother relishes that. Why she relishes? Because child is not something else. For her, child is my own. I myself has come like that. My own extension. What is that? Tirukural? Sirugai alaviya kool. Amildunum inide. Tammakkal sirugai alaviya kool. Meaning, when the child, when it puts his hand, that rice or that food becomes amridam for that mother. Why? The idea is, this child is my own, I am myself. So this is love actually. True devotion is total identification with the Beloved. See, these youngsters, when they were studying I love you, they must have studied, total identification with the Beloved. That is true love. So here, this verse is very important in devotion. But in Dvaitic religion, this is not accepted. In Dvaitic religion, you cannot consider God to be your own self. What is Rama? He is supreme and he is somewhere. You cannot even go close to him. But you can only worship him. But in our Advaita philosophy, it is encouraged to feel that God is in my own heart, my own self. This Abhidha Bhavana, Bhavani Mata. Therefore, we have to develop this bhavana. Aruna chalamena ahame ninaipavar ahattai vera rupaya arunachala. Aruna chalamena ahame ninaipavar. Aham means myself. Aruna chalamena ahame ninaipavar. One who considers Arunachala to be his own self, ahattai vera rupaya, then he destroys the ego of that person. That's what Bhagavan says in Arunachala Aksharamanama. So when you think Lord to be your own self, that is the best bhav. When the daughter goes to her mother's place after marriage, after getting married and all, having children, for vacation for few days, she goes to the mother's place. Amma vittu poyasam vela seiyakudadu, first rule. She goes on sleeping, watching television, this, that, and the mother shouts in very, very, this language, very bad language, but she doesn't feel anything. The mother gets angry. I am shouting at you, but you are still like that. But in her mother-in-law's house, if the mother-in-law utters a single word, she gets so angry and so offended. Why? Because mother and the daughter feels they are one. See, if they have true love. If they have true love. But mother-in-law, by law, she is mother, not actually mother. So that's a Bheda Bhavana. And mother-in-law also, when her daughter comes and says something, she will not mind too much. But if the daughter-in-law says something, she gets up. Why? Because that Bheda Bhavana is. See, though you may say, I treat her like my daughter only, but deep within the heart, that is a Bheda Bhavana is there. She is somebody else's child. When somebody else's comes, there is always strife and struggle. When my own comes, there is no struggle, no strife. So this Abhida Bhavana is very essential even in our day-to-day lives. Yariyume bedam paratappudu. See, our own child is also our own child. The neighbors, every child is our own child only. See, actually it is only in our mind that it is my own child. Nowhere else. We have developed this kind of idea, my own. Otherwise it is a child and all the children are my own only. Why not? With this changed vision, if you see, you can really enjoy the company of all the children. You can shower love. But what we do generally, this child is my child. So, Rakasyama Kondabai, we give some chocolate, something. That child, I don't know. No. All the children are my own. So, Abhidha Bhavana is very important. In fact, if you think deeply, this child is my own is only a thought. Nothing else. No, it has come out of my womb. Hey, adalla okay. But at this present moment, it is only a thought. Even all times it is only a thought. Bhavana only. Nothing else. If you think deeply, you will understand. It is just a thought. Nothing else. Then, if you meditate on him continuously with the idea that Saha Aham Iti Asav, meaning he is my own self, like that if you contemplate on him, that purifies the heart. And what happens? And that is said in the 9th verse. Bhava shunya sad bhava sustitihi.
Bhava shunya sad bhava sustitihi.
Bhavana bhala bhakti ruttama.
Bhavana bhala bhakti ruttama.
Bhava shunya sad bhava sustitihi.
Bhava shunya sad bhava sustitihi.
Bhavana bhala bhakti ruttama.
Bhavana bhala bhakti ruttama.
Bhavana bhalat, balat. Because of the strength of this bhavana. Bhavana means this attitude. This kind of our continuous flow of thoughts to the Lord. How? The Lord is my own self. He is my own. He is so dear to my heart. He is my own. Like that, if you think about him continuously, Ajadharaya Srota Sasana, like that continuously, what happens? Because of the strength of this bhavana pradhanam, strength of this bhavana, what happens? Sadbhava sustitihi happens. And what is the sadbhava sustitihi? Bhava shunya. Bhava shunya is adjective for sadbhava sustitihi. What happens? Bhava shunya you become. Meaning, all the thoughts stop. Bhava shunya. Bhava means entertaining some thoughts. It's called as bhavam. Some sort of thoughts. Bhava shunya. You becomes bhava shunya. Continuously through love, through devotion, if you remember your beloved, and after some time the mind goes into a different dimension where it doesn't think anything. Bhava shunya. For the yogi, it is out of his brute will he achieves this. With so great difficulty he achieves this. But that is very temporary. Whatever achieved through brute will is not very auspicious. But for the bhakta, because of devotion, because of love, his mind becomes just nothing. That is something very auspicious. That is why this emotion called as love is very, very beautiful. Because of love, the mind becomes nothing, just like that. And the yogi, what he does, like the pranayama, hatha yoga practices, with the brute will he achieves. But this devotee, this bhakta, Urihi, manamla urihi. His heart melts. And then he just glides into that silence. Beyond all thoughts. Bhava shunya. That is Sat Bhava Sustitihi. That is Sat Bhava. That is the truth. Sat Bhava. That is the real essence of our existence. Sat Bhava. Sustitihi. That is a natural state. Effortless state. Effortless state where we are with our own self and nothing else. We have gone beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts. And we are with our own true self. What is the true self? There is nothing other than joy. There is total peace, total fulfillment. Sri Ramakrishna, once when he was just sitting and observing, just watching, he saw a few birds flying. White, I suppose, on the birds. They were flying, flocking together. On looking at that, his mind entered into samadhi. Got absorbed. Gone. And you know what? People have to put some sweet on his mouth, it seems, sugar, to bring him back to the normal consciousness. His mind, it goes in, absorbed, it seems. To bring it back is very difficult, it seems, to this worldly consciousness. For us, even for a second, to go into that consciousness is very hard. For him to come into this consciousness is very hard. You have to pull him. His mind just goes. See, because of true devotion, Kadalahi Kasindu Kannir Malhi. See, Kadalahi Kasindu Kannir Malhi Oduvar Thammai Nannari Kuipadu. How beautiful. In devotion, when you melt, when your heart melts, and then when you dissolve yourself, how beautiful it is. There is true peace. With a great faith in the Lord that He will take care of everything. He will not even think this way. He knows it. See, thinking and knowing is something else. For us, we have to think this way again and again. He will take care. For Him, it is all known fact. He will take. There is no doubt about that for Him. He will not even repeat it again and again. Just his heart melts. Bhava shunya it becomes. No thought state. That no thought state is an auspicious state. That is called as abidance in the self. Brahma sthitihi. Atma nishtha. That is everything. There he glides beautifully. Sat bhava sustitihi. Sustitihi, that is desirable. Su, good. Sustitihi. That is a real state which is very desirable. Why? It is effortless. It is ananda, blissful. Sat bhava means what? That is the truth. Because that never comes and goes, that is always there. Sat bhava sustitihi. See, therefore, with love, devotion, with true faith, when you think about your Ishtadevata, initially you start having some other bhavanas, that is good. You pour all your heart at his feet and he will take care of everything. And with more and more devotion you gain. More and more the mind doesn't want to think anything else. And then the mind will start thinking that Lord is not somebody else. He is my own. And then the mind dissolves and goes into a state where there are no thoughts about anything, not even about God. Means a very, very beautiful state. See, for Hanumanji, for him, to hear Rama's glory is joy, Ananda. So wherever Ramayana Katha happens, it seems, in Sukshma Sharira, Hanumanji comes there and he sits and he enjoys himself. Some Kathakars, they put a seat also for Hanumanji. And it is said he enjoys with great devotion, with tears swelling in his eyes and Ananda Bhashpam. he listens. See, that is true devotion. And his mind melts in Rama Katha. But for us, only when somebody praises, glorifies our own ego self, then we are happy. Is that not so? But for Hanumanji, if Rama Katha is chanted, he is so happy. So for us, if we can listen to the Katha of the great God, the Lord, if we can chant his name, that itself is fulfillment. Vibhare Rama Rasam. Sadashiva Brahmendra says, drink Rama Rasa. That purifies. Once when you know the taste of it, you will not leave it. But we don't know the taste. We know only the taste of coffee. This coffee, that coffee. But Rama Rasam we don't know. Am Rasam we know. If you are a Gujarati, you are very good at Ram Ras. And I have gone to Ahmedabad, my God. I give this kind of full Ram Ras. But Ram Ras is still greater than this Am Ras. So, mind glides. And that is devotion. Please understand what is devotion. Devotion is not the cheap thing what is portrayed in the films or in the society. It is all nothing but barter system. It is all business. It's not at all devotion. Cheri, konjam devotion. Onnume ladhu 20% devotion is there. We should be very happy. But real devotion is to think about the Lord. And there is no thought to ask him anything. There is no thought to ask him anything about your welfare, your children's welfare, or anybody's welfare, or for this or for that. That is true devotion. So, bhava shunya sat bhava sustiti. That is devotion. So, in Bhakti Yoga, how he started? We have developed devotion to the Lord through puja. You do puja for the Lord. That is the way you have developed devotion. That is through physical activity, body oriented. And then take his name or mantra. That is japa. And then when you go on taking japa, the mind thinks about him and him alone. That becomes dhyana. In that puja also, he will be really pleased when you serve the beings around you, because all the beings are expression of the Lord only. So, that is Deva Pujana. Jagata Sevanam is a Deva Pujana. How? Ishadhi Yukta. Thinking that everything is the form of the Lord only. Like that, if you serve, that is a true puja. If you don't serve, if you go on pouring all milk and curd and everything, and then the Vaira Gridam on the top of the Lord's crown, the Lord is not that much impressed by your devotion. If you are very kind to your cat or any other cat and feed, then the Lord is impressed. Because the jiva means what? The soul in the cat is not different from the soul of this person or the soul of Paramatma. So this is Jiva Karunya. So that person with more Jiva Karunya is a great Bhakta than all these pseudo Bhaktas who want to show off their Bhakti with great rituals, great this, that. That is not at all. See, these Karma Kandis are very weird group of people. They think they are great Bhaktas, they know everything, they can do and they can. No. The ordinary person who has got true devotion is noble. And then japa also, slowly and steadily, that japa is continuous thinking of the Lord. No. Ena kena prakarena, remember him. Smaranad Arunachalam. This Arunachala is very special. If you remember him, you are liberated. Even once, it said. So, remembering the Lord again and again. And then that becomes very deep when you consider the Lord to be your own self, not somebody else. Ananya Bhavana. And there also, Ajyadaraya Shrota Samam, if your mind continuously flows towards him, then the mind melts and bhava shunya, sad rupa swastitihi, it enters into that beyond thoughts. Where is the true peace, true bliss? And that is the goal of devotion. Devotion, where devotion leads you, wherever the jnana path, wherever the dhyana led you, bhakti leads you very beautifully and is very, very firm and very strong, because love is something very, very powerful. See, the emotion called as love is a very rare thing. So that takes you very deep. But the prana is very jada. Howsoever pranayama or through some techniques, if you arrest the mind, it's all violent way of arresting the mind. See, that is why it's not very much, for a very, very advanced seeker, it is not at all suggested actually. For an unevolved person only, it's a, sorry, don't mistake me. People who will be listening to me will be very angry with me. But that is the truth. Unevolved people only violently they approach things. Evolved people approach through either love or through knowledge. This bhakti is love. Love is powerful than knowledge, I would say. See, knowledge, sometimes it can just fail us. But love never fails. If there is a true love, it never fails. So it's very powerful. So this is the real finale of devotion, where you enter into that state where there is total peace and total fulfillment. See, there for the devotee, he never feels, I should have done that, I should not have done that. No, because he feels he is not the doer. Everything is done by the Lord. So where to talk about I must have done this, I must have done that. No. Whatever happened is His will and is all auspicious. That's how He thinks. Whatever not happened also is fine. It's all His will. See? Whatever comes is beautiful. It is His prasad. He is very clear about this. He never runs after anything because he is so fulfilled within. But whatever comes in addition to whatever he is experiencing, he accepts his prasada gracefully. He will not bother you. Greed, he will not take it. With gracefully he accepts it. See, one more thing I tell you. Love is not only giving. Love is also graciously accepting. When somebody offers you with love, you should have that gracefulness to accept it with grace, with all good heart. Then that is also love. When something comes from the Lord, you will not say, no, I have everything, sorry, you keep it with you. No. Lord is giving, so that also I accept, but graciously accept His prasadam. Therefore, whenever something goes wrong also, I say it is from the Lord. That is prasadam. See, this Margadi, this month of Margadi, early morning in Tamil Nadu, all the temples are open by 4:30. But we go to temple at 5:30, 5:45. You know why? Pongal. Because they give pongal. So tasty. So 5:30 we get up and take bath. We have to take bath before going to the temple. And exactly at 5:45 you are at the temple. Why? The devotion to the wind pongal. Not devotion to the Lord. By the way, we go to the Lord and say, okay, other coach ko parava. So that Ven Pongal, some days it will be very tasty. See, after all, it's made by a cook. Na? Sometimes there will be a little extra salt. But a true devotee will never complain. Because it's coming from the Lord. So prasada means what? If it is extra salt also, it is fine. There is no salt also, it is fine. If it's tasty also, it is fine. That should be the attitude of a devotee. If he complains about the prasadam, he is not having the prasada buddhi. Similarly, you should not choose prasadam also. If suppose I have all the plate full of fruits, Swamiji, you give me that banana, you should not ask. Not prasada buddhi. Whatever comes from the hand of the guru or the teacher or the Lord should be accepted. And you know what? We know the psychology. Some people eyes out be there. Seri polachu potu. You give that fruit. Prasada buddhi means what? Whatever comes, you should accept as prasada. So this devotee, he doesn't ask for anything, but whatever comes, he accepts. Right? He doesn't run after because he's fulfilled already. So whatever bad comes also he accepts. This is Jnana Lakshanam. So when you go there to the topmost, Jnana Lakshanam, Bhakti Lakshanam, one and the same. He is same in all circumstances. His mind never thinks about anything else. He is saturated with the devotion to the Lord. He sees everything as the Lord only. The vision of oneness. So this devotee achieves that what the Jnani and the Yogi has achieved, and plus extra he has got that Bhavanananda also. That's what Guruji says in Bhakti Sudha. And when I was teaching this Bhakti Sudha and this Vedanta course recently, one person got very angry. How can you say that? Brahmananda is a superior, topmost. All this Bhavanananda are less than that. Everything is included in Brahmananda. I said, fine. Brahmananda is the topmost. Nobody disagrees. But he gets Bhavananda also. But you are not getting it. He got so angry. The thing is, it's all Chuma solradhu. But the mind is not there. So there is no question of this is good or that is good. Chuma to explain, they say, Bhavananda is there. In relative sense, it is all there. It's a very sweet, beautiful path. So therefore, what is real devotion is something else. What is practice is something else. See, that is why some intelligent, decent people get very disgusted with this kind of devotion. So people become very crazy, mad about certain things. But you should understand one more thing. In the village, in such society, they don't know much. They know how to express only that way. Lord accepts that. You should understand. We may feel disgusted, but Lord knows, because Lord doesn't see him as somebody else. Lord sees his own. So he accepts everything. So Kannappa Nayanar, he brought flesh as a prasadam, the Naivedyam offered. Lord happily accepts because he is a hunter. But the priest will not accept. Who cares? But the Lord accepts. So therefore we should find fault with anybody's bhakti. Let them have it. But when people are very hypocritical, very dishonest, then we get angry. But why should we get angry? And so many things are happening. But we should know what is true devotion. And we should practice only that. So here, one more verse is there. Oh, this is very important. Kristale mana swasthatha kriya.
Kristale mana swasthatha kriya.
Bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam.
Bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam.
Kristale mana swasthatha kriya.
Kristale mana swasthatha kriya.
Bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam.
Bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam.
See, Bhagavan only has written this in Sanskrit. I have no complaints. I am not comparing also. But Tamil one will know what? Is the, my God. No comparison. Uditta idathil odungi iruthal. Adu karmam bhakti mundi para adu yogam jnanam. Uditta idathil odungi iruthal. See, I cannot explain this in English. I cannot do justice. And also the viryam, my God, the power of those words, something extraordinary. Same idea only is expressed here. But Sanskrit is, whatever said and done, is not our Matru Bhasha. And Sanskrit has its own beauty. But Bhagavan hailed from this Tamil, sort of community, society. So his Tamil is very powerful. Uditta idathil odungi iruthal. Ore vartha. Everything is done. That is the essence of Bhagavan's teaching. This 10th verse in Tamil, that is the essence of Bhagavan's teaching. Uditta idathil odungi iruthal. That is what he is saying. So at the end of the day, what is spiritual life or spiritual seeking or spiritual sadhana? Hrustale manaha swastatha. The mind should rest in the heart. Heart means not the blood pumping heart. It's not a physical organ in the. According to Bhagavan, heart means it's a spiritual center where all the thoughts subside. There is a center in us, spiritual center. It's not physical, please. It's not psychic also. Not that chakra they say, it's not psychic also. It is, Bhagavan says, it is a center where all the thoughts subside. Subside means just dissolves. And from where all the thoughts rise. So according to Bhagavan, what he says, whenever the thoughts rise, we should inquire for whom this thought. Then the answer is to me. Who am I? Then if you focus your attention on that I, then that I subsides in a place where he calls us spiritual heart. Hrudayam. Ayam means this. Hrud means center. Center of the whole universe is Hrudayam. So when the mind can remain peaceful, settled in the heart, Swastatha. Swasthatha means in one's own. At ease it can remain. At ease. In military parlance they say, na? Sadha Vishram. Stand at ease, they say. At ease means what? Without any effort. Swastatha. Effortlessly, if the mind can remain in the source of all thoughts, that is the heart, and then remain there peacefully forever, that is the prayojanam of Kriya, Karma Yoga, Bhakti, Bhakti Yoga. Here Yoga means Raja Yoga, Bodha means Jnana Yoga, Nishchitam, this is for sure. There is no doubt about this. So the end of all the yoga is what? The ego should not be allowed to rise. The ego self, I am, that should not rise. And that should be dissolved in the pure consciousness. That is the heart. That is the end. Uditta idatil odungi. Uditta means what? From where it is rising. Uditta idam, the source. Odungi idittal. Just abide there. So this is the end of all seeking. See, in Ulladanarpada Anubandham, Bhagavan says, what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga means we perform karma to purify the heart. Actually, that is Karma Yoga. With the right attitude. So, when the mind is already in the heart, it is the most purest form. So, it is the end of Karma Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means what? Bhakti means what? The Bhakta feels he is away from the Lord. He is separated from the Lord. He wants to become one with the Lord. That is Bhakti means what? He wants to become one. When the mind is abiding in the heart, already it is one with the divine. So it is the end of Bhakti Yoga. Raja Yoga means what? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. No thought state. When the mind is dissolved in the heart, it is no thought state. So it is the end of Raja Yoga. What is Jnana Yoga? Jnana Yoga is to understand that Brahma Tattvam is the Atma Tattvam. Meaning everything is one. When the mind dissolves, there is no difference. There are no differences. All the differences end. There is oneness. The mind only creates Bheda. When the mind absorbed in the heart, no Bheda. Perfect oneness. This is the end of Jnana. So, when the mind can be kept peacefully, rested in the heart, that is the end of all. The mind creates all havoc in our lives. Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Moksha. Mind alone creates bondage. Mind alone leads us to liberation. So when the mind can be taken care, when through devotion, through love, mind can melt in the divine source, the heart, then that is the end of all seeking. If the mind is not kept at its right place, when the mind is allowed to think and to roam, go here, go there, do this, do that, it is not at ease. That is disease. That is disease. What is disease? When the mind is allowed to rise from the heart and dance, it is disease. When the mind can be kept at the heart peaceful, it is at ease. But mind cannot be controlled. Swamiji, yes. We have to understand the nature of the mind. And understand that actually the mind is nothing. Huh? Yes. Mind is actually nothing. It is a mysterious power of the Lord. That's what it said. So I am not telling you all these things. Bhagavan himself is saying. And even Hadushankara says, it is a mysterious power of the Lord. His mind is nothing but the mysterious power of the Lord. When you inquire what it is, it vanishes into the thin air. It's nothing. When you don't inquire properly, my God, it creates all sorts of, troubles. So, actually when you grow in spirituality, it is not the effort to control the mind. It is to understand the nature of the mind and to keep the mind in the source. That is transcending the mind. That is the end of all sadhana, all seeking. Mind creates a sense of differences between me and you and everything. And the mind is the source of all ego sense. When the mind is taken care, through love it can melt. See, that is why I always tell, those are really blessed when their heart can melt in devotion. Those intelligent people who go to temple as if they are going to a museum. Very nice. Oh, this Meenakshi sculpture is very good, looking good, very nice, well maintained, very clean. See? What can he do? Wow. The other fellow, Amma, Meenakshi, he runs and tears. Ha ha ho ho. His heart is full. He doesn't see the cobwebs. He doesn't see anything else. He doesn't see the priest. He doesn't see anything. That is devotion. And you go and say, why this priest is very unfair? He is giving vibhuti to only those who are putting 10 rupees. What nonsense. You are not a devotee there. You are a communist going there. You are a leftist going there. For a devotee, nothing matters except the Lord. And he is very happy always in the cobweb, in the dirt, everything he is happy. We intelligent people only suffer. So once our Acharyaji took us in Maharashtra, some place he took us, because we studied in Mumbai, so he took us somewhere. In the first condition he said, see, you should not comment on the cleanliness of the temple or anything. You should not comment on the priest, what he does, what he is not doing. You should be only interested in the Lord, and you chant the Lord's name and you should be devoted to the Lord. Whatever happens is part of the Prakriti. It all will happen. But you should not worry about all those things. It is not your business. Your business is your devotion to the Lord. And then he said, As you remove the chappals outside the temple, you should remove your intellect and go inside. Anga poi, this is drishya padartha. This is seen. I am the seer. Seer is different from the seen. All the seen are mithya. You should not do that. It's insulting. Why should you go there and do? Better you be in your own cave. So there you should not do all those nonsense. There only as a small child you should offer your heart and be happy. Kulandai pol kumbittu kolli yoga Swami said. Like a child you should pray to the Lord. Going there, no this thing for this reason or for this buddhi. But when you come to Tattva Vichara, there is no emotionalism. No emotionalism, nothing. Ruthless, heartless. You understand? That is how we should look at it. So please remember this always. Foolish people suffer foolishly. Intelligent people suffer intelligently. May the Lord make you more intelligent. And may you suffer more. You know what? The intelligent people don't know that they are suffering also. At least the foolish people know that they are suffering. You can help them. Intelligent people, out of their arrogance, they don't know that they are suffering also. So who can help? So, hristale manaha swastata. When you can keep the mind quiet in the heart, in the source of all thoughts, that is the end of all seeking. That is the prasadam of all karma yoga. See, kriya means karma yoga. Bhakti means bhakti yoga. Yoga means dhyana yoga, raja yoga. Bodha means jnana. So that is the end of all. Nishchitam, this is for sure. No doubt about this. Therefore, yena kena prakarena. Don't allow the mind to run riot. Keep the mind in its place. What is the place? Heart. Heart means the source of all thoughts. Where from all the thoughts are rising, you find out. You have to find out from where all the thoughts are rising. And you have to keep the mind in that source. That is the end, according to Bhagavan. So we have completed the 10th verse. Another 20 minutes more. Do you want me to enter into the next yoga, Dhyana Yoga? Or do you want me to give some time for question and answer? What do you want? The next. Then you cannot complain that I have not given time for question and answer. Huh? Okay. Vayurodhanat liyate manaha.
Vayurodhanat liyate manaha.
Jhala pakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Jhala pakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Vayurodhanat liyate manaha.
Vayurodhanat liyate manaha.
Jhala pakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Jhala pakshivat rodha sadhanam.
Here, Bhagavan starts the Dhyana Yoga or Raja Yoga it is called. Or Ashtanga Yoga also it is called. Ashtanga means 8 limbs. Yoga which has got 8 limbs. Generally it is said as Yama Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of Raja Yoga or Ashtanga. Bhagavan is not going into detail of all these limbs. Understand? Bhagavan only points out what is very essential. What we need to take from this Raja Yoga. That is the beauty of Bhagavan. So here he starts. Vayu rodhanat liyate manaha. Vayu means the prana. The vital air they say. It is not just breath. It is vital air. It is called as Vayu. Our Acharyaji, he is also expert in Yoga Shastra. He always used to say, these 8 fingers, from here, from the nostril, from here onwards, from the 8th finger onwards, it becomes prana, they say. The air only becomes prana, he says, and goes inside you. When it comes out, it is prana only, and then it becomes the air. So prana is different from air, technically speaking. So this prana is vital air actually. So Vayu Rodhanat, when you know how to control or regulate this prana shakti, that is a great advantage. That is a great tool to control the mind. Liyate manaha, the mind also becomes quiet. When you control the prana, Vayu Rodhanat or Kumbhaka they say, na? When you keep the breath in your heart, it's called Kumbhaka. When you hold the breath. When the prana bandhana happens, that leads to the quietening of the mind. Like how Jala Pakshivat, like the bird which has got caught in a net. Pakshi means bird. Jala Pakshivat. The bird when it gets caught in the net, it cannot fly. Its movement is restricted. Na? Its movement is restricted. The mind also, because of this prana bandhana, control of breath or prana, its movement is curtailed. It cannot move. It cannot run. Rodha sadhanam. So this is a beautiful means to control the mind. This you should understand. See, actually, it is said beautifully. We have the physical body. It's called Annamaya Kosha. Physical body we have got. It is gross. And then we have got mind, which is subtle. Subtle body, they say, mind. But this prana, they say, is a glue which keeps the mind to the body. It's a glue. And not only that, it has got close association. That's what Bhagavan is going to explain now. When you control one, the other is automatically controlled. See, like let us say there is a chair. It has got 4 legs. If you pull one leg, automatically the other 3 legs will come along with it. Na? Why it is interconnected? Similarly, the prana and mind are very interconnected. When you control one, the other is automatically controlled. But the advantage is, prana is grosser, mind is subtler. To control the subtler thing is very difficult. But to control the grosser is easy. You understand what I am saying? See, mind means thoughts and we don't have any control over it. Yes, we can go over it. But breath or the prana is gross, so we can control it. So if you are unable to control the mind, doesn't matter, don't worry. Control the breath, control the prana. When you control the prana, the mind is automatically controlled. How? Like the bird which is caught in a net. It cannot move anymore. Similarly, because of the power of prana bandhana, pranayama, the mind get caught. It cannot move. So therefore, this pranayama is also an effective technique to control the mind. See, when you sit for meditation, when the mind is so turbulent, it is not at all unga vashame illa. It's not within your reach. So instead of trying to control the mind, don't struggle. Control the breath. If you learn pranayama from a fine teacher, it is good. So then practice pranayama. All pranayama. For 10 or 15. Then you become very energized and the mind also becomes calm. Unfortunately, our Gurudeva Swami Chinmayanandaji never believed in it. He said, we don't believe in twisting the body. We believe in straightening the mind, he said. Therefore, he never taught us. But we give lectures on pranayama. But this pranayama is very, very important because all the physiological functions is controlled by prana. So when you can regulate the prana, all the functions like digestion, circulation, even thinking, all those things are fine-tuned. So your health improves and you get different level of energy. And the mind also becomes controlled. Right. See, our great masters, they have discovered so many things actually. If it is available, why not use? No. Why should you say no to it? Accept it. But don't get lost only in that. Because whatever surrounding prana is only jada. Like karma is jada, prana is also jada. It is only a means to control the mind. But it cannot take you to the ultimate. We are going to see all those things. Bhagavan is going to explain. But this is very good. Rodha sadhanam. So to control the mind, this is a wonderful tool. And then he goes on to explain in the next verse. Chittavayavas-chitkriya-yutaha
Chittavayavas-chitkriya-yutaha
Shakayodvayi Shakti-mulaka
Shakayodvayi Shakti-mulaka
Chittavayavas-chitkriya-yutaha
Chittavayavas-chitkriya-yutaha
Shakayodvayi Shakti-mulaka
Shakayodvayi Shakti-mulaka.
Here Bhagavan goes on to explain the science behind pranayama and how it can control the mind. He says, Chitta Vayava. Vayavaha. Chitta means the mind. Vayavaha means the prana. Chit Kriyayutaha. What is the function of the mind? What is the function of the prana? Or he says, the mind endowed with consciousness and the prana is responsible for the activity. See? Think about this. Through the mind only we know things, is that not so? When the mind goes behind the senses, then only we can see, hear, know everything. The senses are seeing but mind is somewhere elsewhere. You don't comprehend, you don't see. So mind is the seat of consciousness, able to know everything, knowledge for knowledge. And prana is for activity. Without prana there is no activity. When the prana departs, dead and gone. Is that not so? So chitta vayavaha, chit kriyayutaha. So chit means knowledge. So mind is the seat of knowledge. For knowing you need the mind. Similarly, kriya means activity. For that you need prana. Shakayodvayi shakti-mulaka. This is a very important point. They are like two branches. Shaka means branch. Shakayodvayi. They are like two branches. Shakti-mulaka. But their root, their source is one only. That is the real Shakti, Maya Shakti. That is one. The Maya Shakti or the real Shakti is one, from which there are two branches as if. One is mind, another is prana. So mind is for knowing and prana is for activity. Since the root or the source is one, when you control one, the other is automatically controlled. When you control the prana, the mind is controlled. See, similarly, in our day-to-day life also, if you are listening to wonderful music, the mind is so quiet. You watch your breath. It is so, sira, regulated, so beautiful. Suppose if you get angry, you see, watch your breath. So the mind and breath has got a very close association. Therefore, Bhagavan advises Vikshana Pranayama. That is said in Buddhist religion also. Anapanasati. Watch the breath, he says. The vital air going in, coming out. Just watch, observe. Then the prana will quieten, then mind also will quieten. So when you observe the breath is regulated, the mind is also regulated. Why? Because the source is same for both. For the mind and for the prana, the source is one. When you control one, the other is controlled. To control the mind is difficult because it's subtle. But prana is grosser. So control that. So mind is good. This is the science behind prana. Rodha sadhanam. So this is a tool to control mind. What happens generally, people get very inspired, excited about yogasana, pranayama and all. They go and learn yogasana. See, whole of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, only 2 sutras are dedicated for yogasana. Sukham Stiram Asanam, that is one. Another one more thing is there. Nothing else is spoken about asana at all. Sukham Stiram Asanam. You sit comfortably, firm. That is the right posture. Finish. But 100 asanas they teach you. Merani kuda kutti karna bod, mela kaal tuku, the kaal hinga bod. And we get lost only there. And we are so proud. No, I am no yogi. I am practicing yogasana. And then pranayama is good. But so many different pranayamas are there. But you go on practicing pranayama all through your life. And you feel very energetic, very healthy. That is good. But you lose the main goal actually. You get lost. So understand these are means but not the end. So that is why Bhagavan Ramana, Shri Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, all these great Advaita Acharyas, they say these are only means. Rodha sadhanam, means to control the mind. But it can never help you to transcend the mind. For that, some other techniques are developed. And Swami Tapovanam says, Gurudev's Guru, Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda's Guru, Swami Tapovanam, great master, he says, whatever said and done, prana is jada. Through jada, sambandha sadhana, you cannot reach Chaitanya or the consciousness. Therefore, you have to do other kinds of sadhanas like dhyana and vichara and all. That we will see. So therefore, asana is very good. The posture is very important. Nowadays, we sit in front of the computer and no proper posture. So we develop lots of complications. So posture is good. Posture is very important. When you can sit in the right posture, it's wonderful. It can give you a lot of that energy flow. Mooladharathula, energy flow achna, avlo strength. But the thing is, we don't. So therefore we should learn. But the second thing is, prana is very important. We should learn. But we should not get lost only in that. When you do pranayama in a proper way for a long time, you develop siddhi. So, you know what is siddhi? Extraordinary powers. Are you interested? You can know what is the other person thinking. But it's very dangerous. You must have watched the film, no? The Vivek story. If you start listening to others' mind, terrible, I tell you. You cannot live peacefully here. No, but siddhis are there. It can be developed. And our great masters had got a lot of siddhis. But they will not show much. So this pranayama, this hatha yoga practices, you gain siddhis. But they become obstacle for the pursuit of the truth. So this pranayama is very beautiful. We will stop here. So next verse he is going to say how by pranayama the mind gets absorbed. But it is only temporary. Like when you apply the brake to the vehicle stops. The vehicle stops. When you take this thing from the brake, once again the vehicle stops. Similarly, pranayama is only temporary to control the mind. But the mind has to be vanquished. For that, vichara alone is the Bhagavan invented. So, this pranayama is helpful for dhyana. So, practice pranayama first and then sit for meditation. Mind will be quiet and cooperative, available for you to work from. I myself have tried because our Swami, who guided me in my youth days, he taught us pranayama. Fortunately, he taught us. So we not do so much of pranayama, a little bit of it, but it helps. Pranayama helps. The mind becomes very sattvic, very subtle, and the dhyana becomes very, very deep. With pranayama, dhyana becomes deep. So it's a very good sadhana. But for a jnana-oriented person, all these things are not required. They have evolved so much, like Gurudev, they have evolved so much. And Bhagavan Ramana, when did he do pranayama and all? Never. They are evolved so. For them, everything is different. The rules are different. But for us, ordinary sadhakas, how do you know, Swami, I am ordinary sadhaka? Sorry. If you are advanced, it's not for you. For a normal person, this helps to control the mind. You will see how it helps and how it is not the perfect solution and how we have to apply the mind ekachintanat in meditation and vichara. That we will see in the next after 3-4 months, Ramesh ji will announce. So then we will see. I am so glad for this Upadesa Saram, so many people have come. Please do come next sessions also. Very, very interesting. And as I told you, if you complete this Upadesa Saram, you have understood everything about our scriptures. This essence of all scripture. Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, now Dhyana Yoga, and Vichara, and Jnana also, Jnana Yoga also. Everything is contained in this simple looking 29-30 verses. Why I say 29-30 or 29-30? Because 29 given by Bhagavan and 1 by Muruganatha Swami. You understand? So please do come for the next sessions also. We will conclude here.